Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TCG Talk. Back today with another video. And in today's video, this is mainly going to be directed towards LSS staff. This is a positive video. This is like a twofold, giving my background as a creator and like why I got into the game and sharing a positive story on that. And then also just kind of sending some good vibes towards their way a little bit and kind of talk about the state of the game and how I feel about it. It's not going to be super long, 5-10 minutes of your time for any staff member that watches my videos. They may or may not. If they don't, that's fine as well. So if you're just a normal viewer and you want to stick around, definitely feel free. Help share some positivity with me because I'll have a little like tidbits for people who watch my videos randomly as well. But I just wanted to kind of give a quick 1-minute excerpt of why I got into the game and kind of give you background on why I'm now making this video. Is like I started making content on this game 4 years ago. I actually found a DM Armada video on what sets to buy. It was just after Monarch, right before Tales came out. I started on the tail end of Monarch, start of Tales. And the reason I got into the game, I had never played a trading card game before this. I played a couple Friday Night Magics for fun. Played a little bit of Universes, but never played a local or gone to an event or anything like that. Just never was a thing. But without going too deep into my personal life, I was getting out of a 10-year military career. I wanted to pursue working in esports and pursue working in social media. I was making a huge life change with a partner I had been with for almost 8 years. I was getting back from deployment. And after being away from my family for almost a year, a whole bunch of things. A lot of things that were a lot of stressors in my life. And I wouldn't say I was in a bad place in life. I was just in a very unknown and changing part of my life. And I knew that I needed to have an outlet of some sort. Other than playing sports or playing video games, the normal stuff, at least for some people. I had never had a hobby where it's I go do this. Some people go run, some people go, to a book club, whatever the case may be. Some people, are involved in some type of travel thing. I wanted something like that. And so I saw this game. I thought it looked really cool. It had some ties to video games, and not ties to video games specifically, but it had the art style for me seemed really cool, and I really enjoyed it. And so I went to my local game store and tried it, and fell in love with it. I had, again, amazing community members who basically gave me a pseudo-tuned Katsu deck, basically everything other than Mask Momentum and a couple of choice Majestics. And I just fell in love with the game, and I started making content on it shortly after. My first ever video was an Ice Lexi Shiver deck tech where I had zero clue what I was talking about, but I was excited to do it, and we did it. So I bring that story up and that background for any LSS staff employee that doesn't know my background to say I love this game to death. This game got me through a time of my life without trying to be overly dramatic. That was very difficult. And it, frankly, this sounds like it's crazy, but it's true. It was the only semblance of normalcy and consistency that I had in my life for a solid year and a half, 2 years. And it's helped me in so many ways from a social aspect, getting better with talking to people. I'm super introverted. I don't like talking to people. I don't like really socializing. It's always been a flaw of mine. And it's helped me so much. So before I go into the apology standpoint is just saying thank you for what y'all do. Y'all have a passion for what you do. It shows. I hope that our critiques, and I'm talking to myself more than probably anybody else, are not too heavy-handed on you mentally or emotionally. I don't know exactly what it feels like to make a card game, or I don't know what it feels like to make a card game. I don't know why I said exactly. But I do know what it feels like to make something as a creative, and people are negative towards it, sometimes for reasons outside of your control, and how it can weigh on you. As a social media manager working for Call of Duty League or Watch League, stuff like that, we would make fun social media ideas and try to engage with our audience at events in certain ways, and it just didn't hit because maybe the state of the game, how the developers were treating the game, money in esports, all these things that kind of out of our control. Some things were in our control and some things weren't. And that can weigh on you emotionally when you're you just have a passion for what you're doing, and it, at times, not all the time, but at times it can get crapped on, for lack of a better term. So I hope our critiques and our delivery has not affected you too much. I hope mine hasn't. If it has, I'm sorry. If I'm also just like a random creator that you really don't pay attention to in terms of opinions, that actually would make me feel better. So I hope that that's not too much of a thing. But yeah, some of us, even if it's coming from a noble place, probably don't present our critiques in the best way. And that can maybe cause some negative effects on people's lives. I'll bet how small, doesn't matter. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for anything I've said that appeared unfair or anything like that. I don't know. I just had a weird revelation the last couple weeks. I got into like a state of negativity with the game that I didn't want to get into, and after talking to Reagan, who again is like my life partner and freaking sounding grace, like my savior in life, pretty much. You know, how do I put this without ranting? I just tried to find the root of my negativity, and I think it was more of stressors in life in general. And at the end of the day, this is a hobby. This is a trading card game. You know, like some of the recent discussion points, like the price of cards and distribution. Some of that's out of y'all's control. I know it is because of the way the world is right now with tariffs and our presidency, and I'm talking U.S. specific, and like other stuff. And some of it is you all also trying to balance, because a lot of people don't realize there was a time in Flesh and Blood where boxes just sat on shelves. They did like the same for like a couple sets. And there's also been times where they don't. So like you're trying to find that happy balance. And when it comes to card prices, like you're trying to make it to where players can retain value of their cards. And can actually like feel like they pulled something, right? When you pull that Mask of Momentum, when you pull that Codex of Frailty, when you pull that Shelter from the Storm, you're like, oh my goodness, like this is amazing, right? There's other trading card games out there which are really good that, and I won't sidebar too much, but like there's other trading card games out there where you pull the ultra rare in the set, but it's only worth like $30, like the most expensive card in the entire set, and you're like, oh, this is cool, that's neat, and then you kind of say like, all right, that's fine. But here it's like, no, I just pulled a $100 card. I just pulled a $200 card, or whatever the case may be. And yes, there's a happy medium, but talking to LSS, I know that they're working on that. I know that they're trying to find a solution that makes sense, not just short term, long term. A lot of the problems that we bring up that we want fixed, myself being a culprit more than most, we're thinking short term. We're thinking fix this now, fix the next set, fix the card prices for this year, whatever the case may be. LSS is trying to say, okay, how do these changes affect us 5 years from now? Because we know we're going to be here 5 years from now. We know we're going to be here 10 years from now. So how do these changes affect that? Because we don't want to make this change and then have to make another change in 3 years and have to make another change in 3 years on the same issue. At least that's how I would think they're thinking. I'm not trying to speak for them. But yeah, thank y'all so much for all you do. I know this is a random video, but I wanted to use what little platform I had to say thank you. And to say, I apologize for anything that I've said that has affected you in any way, if it has. And to the community members who are watching this, if you've made it this long, keep trying to spread positivity. I'm not saying don't have an opinion. I guarantee you LSS staff wants you to critique in a sense. They want to get better. They want to know your pain points so they can try to fix them and make this game better. The one sound advice I was told by one of my chief warrant officers that I deployed with, who's one of the smartest men I've ever met in my life, probably one of my biggest idols in terms of leaders. One of his main points was always assume noble intent in everything you do in life. If you do that, it'll help so much. Our card price is too high. Some people won't assume noble intent. Like, oh, LSS doesn't care. LSS is just trying to make money. LSS is just trying to, keep the game at a certain level, whatever the case may be. No, they're genuinely trying. They don't want you to have to do that. They know what it feels like to spend hundreds of dollars. They don't want to do that themselves, right? They want you to get boxes. Do you think LSS doesn't want you to crack boxes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes. Is it still frustrating? Sure. But just if you approach with noble intent, like, I know they're trying their best. How can we fix this together? What can I do as a consumer? How can I effectively let them know my pain points so they can actually fix it and not just feel crappy? That's something I need to get better at too. I falter, but just from a community standpoint. Let's try to be better at that. Because there's a lot of positivity in the game right now. The game is the most popular it's ever been, but there's also a lot of negativity in the game, and I want to try to halt that. I love this game. I'm going to keep making content on it. I'm going to make more consistent content on it. Again, I've kind of been reinvigorated. I have been reinvigorated on like what I want to do with content on this game. So yeah, thank y'all to LSS staff for watching a 10-minute rant. I'm sorry if you watched the first one and you heard nothing out of my voice. I think I muted my stream or muted my mic when I turned off stream yesterday. And professional YouTuber here, I did not notice it when I recorded. So thank y'all so much to any of the viewers that have gone on this long. Thank y'all so much. But yeah, LSS staff, keep doing what you're doing. Y'all are doing an amazing job. I hope y'all are healthy. I hope you're loving your jobs. I hope you're happy. There's a huge thing about work-life balance. There's a huge thing about loving what you do and how it affects, you waking up every day and getting up every day. We're all human at the end of the day. So I hope you all are enjoying it, from the lowest level employee, and I mean that in a positive way, all the way up to James White. I hope y'all are doing a good job, or I hope y'all are, doing good in life and enjoying it. And just thank y'all so much. I'll still have critiques, obviously, and I know you'll all want that. Still have things I think we can get better at, but I'm going to do my best to present it in the best positive way I can, and also help others or try to be an example to others of how we need to, address anything that we think needs to be fixed. But thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. We'll talk about some national stuff, talk about some other stuff, talk about the IRA deck that's coming out. Super excited about that. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time.